Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Hello and welcome to the next round of the FMA Next Gen Cup Series here on Racer Nexus. We are at New Hampshire for it's going to be quite the race to watch. I'm joined as always by my broadcast partners, Kobe Jordan, and joining me in the booth this time around is Adam Gefalter. Adam, how you doing?
Pretty good, guys. How about you?
Oh, can't complain, and this one's gonna be a wild one. We know races here at New Hampshire tend to be pretty chaotic, and with a car as chaotic as the Next Gen on flat tracks, I think we're gonna see a lot of action and probably a whole lot of counter steering from these drivers tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm looking to see maybe some multi-groove racing here tonight. I don't think the bottom lane is going to be as dominant as we've seen, say, in the trucks or so. So I'm curious to see how they're going to battle.
I think you're right. The dynamic track has taken some incredible leaps forward on providing some great racing here for everyone on the oval side on iRacing, and I think we're going to see that on full display here tonight. So we're going to take a look. Yes, sir, as we'll take a look at the point standings for up to week 7. Brock Morris, after a phenomenal performance last week, further increases his lead over Nigel Steele. 22 points the advantage is, with Ryan Peters rounding out the top 3. Cody Brewer and Zach Tankersley hold on to the last 2 spots in the top 5. Tiffany Ellis, James Ifa, Evan Gilmet, Mark Osier, and Chase Matsuko rounding out the top 10. And then the team points. Resurrection Racing continues to dominate over Mach 10 Motorsports, with In the Fence Racing holding on in 3rd. Dumber and Dumbest and Ramrod Motorsports in 4th and 5th. Threshold Motorsports and the Throat Cloggers are bringing up the rear.
Quite some team names there.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing that a bit of brevity these phenomenal team names bring as we start out these broadcasts every week. As qualifying has just about wrapped up, and it's interesting. Chase Matsuko up at the top spot. This is the best qualifying effort we've seen from Matsuko all season long. And Brock Morris, the championship points leader, hanging there in P5. Definitely not quite where we expected him, but after him not being able to really put a whole lot of time in qualifying last week and still storming to the win, I don't think I'm going to be too worried about what the 05 is going to be able to do.
You know, I'm used to seeing Chase Zilla and Matt Mars doing the road side of things. Well, actually, a lot of these guys, and to see them up here qualifying this fast up in the oval side is pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, Matt Mars was the pole sitter last week at Gateway. Unfortunately, he jumped the initial start in the restart zone, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about his awesome qualifying lap and nothing that may have happened afterwards.
Right.
And, that's not that surprising. You're very familiar with FMA and their roadside. And, New Hampshire behaves kind of like a road course in how you have to attack the corners and how much brake you put into it here. So it's not surprising to see guys that are good on the road course also be a pace here at New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you've got a lot of trail braking here for the next gens, and it's just, I mean, you hit the nail on the head right there. It's just like road course racing, the way these corners are.
Absolutely. But with that, it's time to go to our starting grid. Your pole sitter in the Tony Stewart throwback. Absolutely beautiful. Chase Matsuko in the 26 next to the 34 of Matt Mars. Row 2 features the 2 of Zach Tankersley and the 5 of Ryan Peters. Point leader Brock Morris in the 05 next to Evan Gilmet in the 68 on row 3. Jay Davis in the 317 and Paul Wentline in the Wrangler 3 on row 4. Rounding out the top 10, we have the 87 of Tiffany Ellis and the 888 of James White. Maddie Raymond, a new member of the FMA Cup Series in the 83 in 11th, and Mark Ossier in the 117 on row 6. Chase Bullard in the 54 and Nigel Steele in the 8. Rounding out row 7, and that is the field for tonight. A little bit of a smaller grid because, of course, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there supporting us as we spend way too much time dealing with virtual race cars and yelling at them, whether it's out of anger, happiness, or if you're just paid to yell at the cars as they run around the track like we are. See the pace car getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Chase Matsuko will lead us to the green flag. Green means go. We are underway at New Hampshire. Good jump for Matsuko. Good jump for Mars. Matt trying to hang on to the outside through 1 and 2, and he's there. He's right there. This is going to be crucial. Matsuko is not in a good position trying to hold the inside, but Mars has all the momentum, but he's going to throw the slider a little bit and clear, but here comes Mars on the crossover. Off of turn 4, lap 1 is going to go to Matsuko. But Mars is not giving up. As you see, Matsuko goes way up into the wall, using all that space, and Mars is going to get the pass done. Matsuko went too high that time. And now Matsuko, he's got a lot going on in his mirrors. You see Peters and Tankersley, they are side by side for P3 right behind him, and trying to see if they can get P2 from him. See Tankersley going a little high, trying to get some cleaner. Oh no, there's contact! Hit Zach Tankersley and Ryan Peters make contact, and around goes the 2. Oh boy. And somehow everyone avoids plowing into him. Take us through this one, Adam. Was good hard racing until it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, so we're heading down here into turn number 2. And, oh, man, the 2 gets cleaned out. Tankersley gets cleaned out.
Yeah, that was weird. Oof. Like, look at the, it's like Peters got a speed boost through the center of the corner.
Yes, he did. Just looks like he throttled up a little bit earlier than what Tankersley did.
And it's like, it didn't even seem like the car was out of control either. Like, if Tankersley wasn't there, that would have been a great corner by the 5. He just looked like he was able to get through just a bit better. And, yeah, unfortunately, Zach Tankersley was there, and around he went.
It looks like they're serving an EOL for the 5 of Peters for getting into Tankersley.
Yeah, and I don't think that's one you could argue there, Adam.
No, absolutely not. Definitely an avoidable incident there.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves in a quick break, and we will be back shortly.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, we are back and ready to get back at it. Pace truck made the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Matt Mars leads us back to the restart zone. Green means going. We're back underway at New Hampshire, and mother of mercy, what happened to the 26? Matt Mars looks like he was shot out of a cannon there, Adam.
Yeah, the 26 didn't get a good start at all. Looks like he may have spun the tires a little bit as he pulls down to the inside here of the backstretch. Kind of got everybody bunched up as Matt Mars, he is gone right now. They got a lot of ground to catch up to him.
Yeah, I think there was some confusion from race control doling out the black flags and the black flag clears, and Matsuko, being one of the admins, I think might have been a little too preoccupied with his admin duties and maybe didn't restart in the right gear there, because you typically don't see a jump like that even in a single file restart like this.
Yeah, and you also got to be careful in these next gen cars as they get like a heat cycle on their tires. Usually you'll see some guys do a quick shift from second to third to kind of keep that RPM down and the wheel spin, and I think Matsuko kind of missed that just a little bit. And you're right, he probably could have been preoccupied with doing some admin stuff.
Whoa, big lockup from Jay Davis with OCA on his outside. Here comes Matty Raymond making it 3 wide, trying to take advantage of the... Oh, there's contact, around goes to 317. Oh no, and Matty Raymond gets clipped as well. Oh man, what happened on this one? See, Jay Davis locks up that left front just a little bit as OCA dives around the outside. And then, contact between him and OCA turns the 17 around, and then the 54 gets into the 83 trying to avoid it. And, doesn't look like that hard of a hit there into the wall for Raymond.
I think everything's going to be just fine for him. No damage, looks like, on my end to report. Looks like they're going to be good to go. Oh, we got some damage on the back of the 83, though. Well, not substantial, though. Just some scuffs and scrapes.
Yeah, you hope that maybe might be able to get that worked on. The next gen, it's so temperamental with the damage and what actually affects Adam, because as well as I do, you've seen cars that absolutely clap the wall at Mach Jesus and they're perfectly fine. Some cars, they just brush it. 8 minutes are required.
Yeah, that describes my car perfectly there, James. Mine is made of glass, and if I just look at the wall, I've got toe damage.
Yeah, it's so hard to get an understanding on what these cars are going to do.
As looks like the lights on the pace truck are still on. So we're going to go around another time.
Yep, so I think we'll go ahead and get another quick ad in, and we will be back.
Move on the map,
Alrighty, we are back and about ready to get back at it. And I tell you, Adam, probably the happiest person to see the caution come out is the 26 of Matsuko. Gives him another opportunity on this restart.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be doing single file restarts here. So yeah, Matsuko, he's going to have a really good opportunity to try to get that lead back from the 34 of Matt Mars, which I'm interested to see these battles coming up here through the field between some of these other guys that's kind of started in the back.
Yes, sir. And as always, you have to keep a pair of eyes on the 05 of Morris. And when he decides to make his move to the front. As we see the pace truck getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Matt Mars will lead us back to the restart zone. Green means going. We're back underway at New Hampshire. Much better jump for Matsuko, but still a huge launch for Mars as he tries to run away. You see side by side Ryan Peters on the apron, and here comes Buller with a huge run on the outside, and he's going to get the pass done. Meanwhile, Matsuko has his hands full with Gilmet and Brock Morris trying to get up into P2. Gilmet tucks back in for now.
Just seemed like Matsuko doesn't have the takeoff pace that some other guys have. As you can see, the 68 trying to set him back up again, pulling down below the bottom. Doesn't make it happen. And he's going to lose a little bit of ground. He's got to reset here, try to get it going again.
Yeah, Matsuko doing everything he can to hold him off. Not quite sure if he's trying to conserve here. Especially since you don't know when the caution fountain's going to be turned off. See Buller trying to make his way up through the field on the back of us. Oh! Mark Ossier hard into the outside wall. That's going to allow Bullard to get to the inside. He'll get the pass done. Peters trying to follow through.
Man, Ossier's got some hard damage on the front of that car. The whole front is completely caved in.
And that was so weird because it looked like he was going through the corner fine, and then all of a sudden it just shot up to the wall. Like, if we didn't know any better, Adam, you would have thought it was a tire going down.
Yeah, I know. Paul Wentline just did the same thing, just shot up the track, and now he's got some damage on the right side. Oh, as the final gear goes around.
Oh, what a save! How in the world did he hold on to that car? Oh, he was perpendicular to the wall. Going down into turn one, jumps on the binders to avoid Bullard. Dirt tracks it around. What a job of driving for Ryan Peters. Holy crackers. And as you see, battle up front, Matt Mars has company. Matsuko all of a sudden went from having Gilmet and Morris knocking on his back door to having about a second gap. I guess he was out there conserving those tires, Adam.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because he's got the pace now, as he's one of the fastest on track right now, running down Matt Mars with ease as he's closed up to 0.2 of a second now. Only about one car length separates these guys.
And if you're Matsuko, you got to see if you can get this pass done ASAP, not just because of getting stuck in that wake of the 34, but look who's coming. Brock Morris trying to get by the 68. If he can do it quickly, you know Morris is going to be on your back bumper within seconds. And you at least want to have the clean air to hold him off when that happens.
Oh, Gilmet goes down to try to pinch him off. That doesn't happen, though. Brock Morris does not let him dictate how that pass went. And I think if I was Gilmet, I think I would have probably tried to pinch him a little bit earlier than let him get to my inside, because now that Brock Morris is ahead, you know he's going to be really difficult to try to pass again.
Yeah, that was about as a power move as you can get with no contact. Like, Morris just drove it down in there and just slipped right on by. That was a impressive move, and it shows the speed that 05 car has, and continuing to show why he leads this championship by such a large amount of points, as he is already just about into this lead fight.
Yeah, looks like Gilmet was holding him up just a little bit, because he's got the afterburners on now. He is really close up to the back two, first and second of Mars and Matsuko. He's going to be challenging for the lead here in just a second.
Yeah, Matsuko, he's got to get this pass done. It's clear that he's a bit faster than the 34, and it's clear that the 04 is faster than them. Oh, here it goes, already to the inside. Morris looking for P2. Here's the Sed into turn one. Oh, caution is out. Oh, James White around off of turn 4.
Not sure exactly what happened to James White. You can see him there in that 888. And looks like he just gets sideways here off the exit.
Yeah, and ooh.
Narrowly missing the barrels too, guys.
Yeah, I think he scraped it with the front, but that is a heck of a lot better than what it seemed like it was going to be at first. Yeah, I think he just gassed it up a little too early, trying to stay to the inside of OCA. Alrighty, we are back under caution, so we'll take another break and we will be back with you.
Nascar can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Alrighty, we are back and ready to get back at it. Double file restarts. Looks like Steely, Matty Raymond, and Bullard stayed out. Nigel Steely will lead us back to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway here at New Hampshire. Steely with a good jump, but Raymond able to hang on to him on the inside as Matt Mars gives Steely a bump. Oh, Matt Mars looking to the outside. Oh, almost got put into the wall for his efforts. It's a bold move trying to stick the nose in on corner exit, and he almost paid the price. Steely and Raymond battling hard for the lead. Raymond inches ahead at the line. Mars jumps to the inside. Whoa! Whoa! Steely goes wide. Oh, Matt Mars is going around! Whoa! I think there's a lot to unpack on that one. You see, it's going to start going into the corner. You see Matty Raymond got on the brakes a little early, and you see Mars having to jump way out of line to avoid it, and then Steely just goes straight to the wall. Mars, oh.
Oof. Mars may have a stubbed toe after that one. We're going to have to see if he goes in to get some damage repaired, because that was a hard hit on the left front.
Yeah, hard to say how much damage that's going to be, again, with how finicky this vehicle is. Yeah, and Tankersley, he just can't see a thing until it is too late.
Matt Mars did the right thing, though, of locking it down.
Yeah, curious to see how much Tankersley is going to have to deal with damage-wise, because that was a hefty hit to that right front corner. Probably the last place you want to hit anything on.
Yeah, Tankersley down pit road now, I guess, to get the damage assessed. Not sure if they have any fast repairs, but definitely down pit road right now.
They do not. So he's got to hope that he can get it all fixed, and all of it is able to be fixed.
Matt Mars also down pit road.
And now this really shakes things up, because now it puts Brock Morris as the leader of those that had pitted for tires.
Yeah. And the top two here, Raymond and Steely, they were holding those guys up. I mean, they were trying to be as patient as possible, but once the 83 kind of got hard on the brakes, Matt Mars went up. And that's just crazy how that unfolded right there. Unfortunate for Matt Mars.
That it is, and I think he probably would have been okay if the 8-car didn't end up in the wall at the exact moment Mars slid up there.
I wonder if it had something to do with him putting air on the rear, maybe. Because, I mean, it looked like he was going to make it just fine until the corner, and then all of a sudden the car just went up into the wall.
Yeah, and again, we've seen that incident kind of happen a few times with Ossier and a few others. So this car is just really struggling in the center of the corner. As you see, we are back to single file restarts, and the pace truck is making the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Matty Raymond will lead him back to the restart zone. Green means go. We are back underway at New Hampshire. Raymond did not get the launch I was expecting. I figured he would have been able to jump the 8-car like we saw what Matt Mars was doing earlier. Is Brock Morris just drives by Nigel Steely like it's nothing.
Oh yeah, them fresh tires are coming into play here. As you see, the 26 also doing the same thing with Steely, and the 5 of Peters also trying to get by.
Yeah, Steely at this point just hanging on for dear life here. Ready down to fourth, and whoa, a little bit of contact between Steely and Bullard there going into turn one. Bullard gets to the outside and gets another spot.
Looks like other than that, everybody's single filed out up here in the top 5 or so. Brock Moore's trying to take the lead over.
Yeah, Raymond slipped on exit just a bit. Here comes Morris with the send into turn one. Slide job complete. New leader, Brock Morris.
Brock using a different line than I've seen some of the other guys use, like Matt Mars and Chase Matsuko. He's really liking that bottom. And then as soon as I say that, he makes me into a liar and uses the third lane.
Isn't that how it always goes? It makes you wonder if the drivers have the broadcast on and are just using it to get on our nerves.
Oh, I know they're using it as a strategy call. Who wouldn't?
So far, so good, though, for Raymond. Still able to hold on to P2 here, and it looks like he's got all the damage fixed from his earlier incident.
Yeah, as you can see, the 26 really starting to put the pressure on the 83 now for second. But here comes Peters as well, kind of rebounded back into fourth.
Meanwhile, Zach Tankersley, he got what ended up being significant damage from that last caution. He is 6 laps down and counting. Unfortunate for the two.
Got a nice battle going on back here with the 3. And Ossier, who is that? Wentline. These guys have been side by side for a couple laps now.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney versus Dale Earnhardt. Looks like Dale wins the day for now.
Matt Mars also trying to pick up some spots again. Looks like he's got his damage fixed. He's pretty fast. All things considering, I don't think he's got all of his damage fixed, but he's out there back competing in the 9th position.
Yeah, trying to get a couple spots. You see, Tiffany Ellis is stuck behind the 8 car on those 2 tires. Not quite dropping as bad as it seemed like he was gonna after the initial couple restarts. Holding on to a solid P7 for now.
Right, but also using the preferred lane right now for all these other guys behind him, which is making it very difficult, kind of just making the car really wide here, and it's almost impossible to pass. I mean, you can see the 87 is clearly faster, but just cannot get around.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reasoning on why you would make a strategy call like that, knowing that it's not easy to pass, so there's a good opportunity for you to at least hold on to some of the track position you gain from a strategy call like this, and you see that's exactly what's playing out. Ellis, better tires. Oh, maybe not anymore. Lock up from the 87, and that's going to allow Mars to get to the outside of the 87. And job done for Matt Mars, and now he's coming with the send on the 8 car. Once again, Steely holding strong.
Steely's better on the outside than I thought originally with the older tires. And Matt Mars obviously playing the nice game with him, trying to let him get it figured out before he made his move. But he said, you know what, since Tiffany slid her tires, I'm going to go ahead and go on by. And you can see he's setting sail now.
Yeah, important move for Mars to get back up to P7, but he's got a long way to catch anybody. 3 seconds back to Guillemette up in 6th.
Chase Bullard having a nice run, though, up in 5th place. As he's pretty much evenly spread here. I would consider that clean air from these guys. And then you get up here to first, second, or second, third, and fourth here. The 5 trying to take take advantage of the 26 here of Matsko. Just can't quite pull it off yet.
No, he can't. Chase doing a good job to hold strong and saying both trail the 83. Raymond on those 2 tires continues to keep that car in second and keep within striking distance of Brock Morris. Brock not pulling away, but you imagine he's probably not pushing full 100% here.
Well, you know, that's kind of my thing I usually talk about on broadcast is, you know, the leader is so much faster. Why would you set like a 2, 3, 4 second lead when you could just keep a second lead and conserve your tires just in case somebody got ballsy later on in the long run? You might have something for them.
Yeah, there's something to be said about having a little bit of a gap and having some breathing room, knowing that 6-7 tenths, you know, a slight slip up and that might cost you the lead. But at the same time, as here's a big send from Matsuko, try to pull the slider on Raymond, and he will get it done. Raymond tried to hold on, but he can't. Good move from the 26.
The five looked back there, seen it, or looked up there, seen it happen. Now he's going to try to do the same thing as he's trying to turn early here. Coming out of turn 4, just can't quite get it. He's going to try to set it up again to do the same thing. That's really his only option here. As you can see, going all the way down to the solid white and blue lines. As he's going to put him side by side with the 83. The 83 is going to have the momentum on the high side. And got to reset and do it all over again.
Yeah, a line like that is just not going to work for getting a pass done, not with how much pace Raymond still has in that car. Yeah, you're going to be able to get alongside him, but you're just going to have no momentum off of the corner. While the car you're battling, they're on the throttle for what feels like an eternity behind, and you saw they weren't even close about halfway down the straightaway. So that's why you see the slide jobs happen. You got to be somewhat close to them. And when you make that initial move, just to maintain as much momentum as you can, otherwise they'll just throttle up and go right around.
Yeah, New Hampshire is a different ball game here as far as oval tracks go. As far as setting passes up, yeah, you're right. You've got to be right up on them to even make a slide job happen, especially with the dynamic track and you know, all this multi-groove stuff happening. It's extremely difficult to make anything happen.
Absolutely, and that's why a place like New Hampshire is polarizing. Some love it, some love the challenge, others are like, nope, can't pass, can't do anything, can't use any different lines, to them at least. And yeah, that's why you always get a lot of differing reactions whenever you see it on a schedule.
As you can see, the 5 of Peters all the way up above the last dotted line, trying to do anything, get to run off or anything. He's throwing the kitchen sink at this thing, trying to make anything happen. You can see all the way up nearly against the wall, and then trying to do a turn down here.
And that's so frustrating because you could see how much Morris and Matsuko have driven away from Peters as he continues to try to battle the 83. Like, that's so frustrating when you're stuck behind a car and you know you're fast enough to be up with the cars in front of you, but they're just pulling away because you can't get that pass done like they were able to.
And just like this, we got some battles going on back here in the back. Looks like Ossier having a nice battle here between, looks like the 8. As Ossier is all the way up at the top of the track.
Oh, and here we go. Big slider for P3, and Peters can't get it done. Oh, that was the best shot he had at it. Almost had it complete. Here he goes, trying it once again. He's clear now, and I think it might be job done finally, and it is. Ryan Peters up to P3.
At this point, though, the damage is done as he's almost 4 seconds back. Now he's 4 seconds back, so he's got a lot of ground to make up back here toying with the 83 for a while.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is you can't even rely on tire saving or anything because of how much tire you had to burn up just trying to get that pass done. If he wants another bite at the front, he's probably having to do the caution dance right now.
Yes, definitely going to have to take some strategy plays here if the caution doesn't come out, as we're over halfway here.
Now the question is, I wonder what the fuel is looking like. You can go a lot more laps around here at New Hampshire on the tank than you'd think, but I'm not entirely sure if they can from when they pitted, because Kobe, they pitted around lap 30 or 40. So about 30 laps on the tires, what we're hearing. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to have another stop for fuel there, Adam, if my math is correct, which it probably isn't.
I'm looking at probably somewhere around lap 70, 75. So that'll give them 25 laps to go before they'll need to stop again. But this track here, you spend half the time on throttle, half the time off throttle. These corners are so sweeping that you spend most of the time off throttle in the corner. So you can go a whole lot further than you think you can here on a mile track.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to fuel save here because of the opportunities you have to lift and coast and still maintain that lap time. You know, lift early, brake way later than you have been doing, but still kind of being lower speed, so you still kind of hit the apex the same way while still maintaining a good lap time and saving fuel in the process.
And you just described every single road course that iRacing has to offer. The coast, to save fuel, the trail braking, all of it. And that's why you're going to see these guys up here, these road course kings, if you have it, up here leading this race tonight.
Absolutely. But the other thing to keep in mind is that how many were really thinking about saving fuel, thinking that they needed to think about saving fuel, especially with the amount of cautions we got in the first 30 laps.
Oh, it was completely out. I don't even think they even talked about it or discussed it or anything like that. You know, they thought that it's just going to be caution after caution and no need to save. But now here we are on a long green flag run here, going on 40 laps or longer under green flag.
That's one of the worst feelings, is when you kind of drive into a fuel save situation that you weren't anticipating, and now you're just sitting there like, darn it, if only I had thought ahead, I might be able to have something here.
That's right. As we see some pit stops happening, Ossier down pit road now. I wonder if that's going to drag some of the leaders down. I think it's a tick too early, though, James.
Yeah, I don't think Ossier is going to be really kind of tipping the hand of the leaders here, as you see Wentline bringing it in as well. I think you'll have to wait to maybe about 7th or 8th before you start thinking about it. But at saying that, it's about 20 seconds back to Matt Mars and P7. So yeah, if you're Brock Morris, you're probably not jumping until you see at least Peters doing something.
Yeah, which Peters is losing the time, big time here, as he's 8.2.
Ooh.
He is losing nothing but time, so he has nothing to lose. He might as well go ahead and go down pit road, get some fresh tires, and see what he can do here. But it all goes back down to pit road entry and exit and time down pit road. If you just lollygagging down pit road to get down into your box, you're going to lose a lot more time. So you've definitely got to take that in consideration. It's not just one on the racetrack. It's also one down pit road. So he needs to do what he needs to do, and hope that Morris and Matsuko may have a problem.
And this is not an easy pit road to get on, because you're basically having to slam on the brakes for pit road almost before you're actually exiting the corner. Like, the pit speed cone comes up very quickly, so it's real easy to just overcook it on entry and get yourself a nice little penalty for your troubles.
Yeah, not only are you turning and braking, but now you've got to turn even more to get down pit road, and it's easy for the rears to come out from underneath this thing, especially if you're a quote-unquote trail breaker here.
Whoa!
Close call there.
Yeah, Matsuko jumping out of line to get past the lap car of, I believe, James White, and almost jumped out too much. You saw that car was on the verge of the death wobble, but Matsuko able to hold on to it and still keep within a second of Morris.
Yeah, Chase, Matsuko, he's still got some pretty good pace here.
And he's sitting in the catbird seat here, because if he can get on to pit road at a good amount of laps left, and at least a lap before Morris, that undercut, that's going to be an advantage. And Morris might not be able to come back out in front of him, only having barely a second lead. And we've seen how hard it is to make passes, especially if you're on equal tires. So if he can nail the undercut, that might be the race-winning move for the 26.
Well, James, they race a lot together, so if anybody would know what Morris is thinking, it's going to be Chase Matsuko. But also nailing that undercut by a lap or two it's a guessing game, because we're on lap 68 now. Can he go too early? Yes. Can he go too late? Oh yeah. You've got to be perfect in order to make this thing happen.
Yeah, and then the question becomes, Morris, is what do you do if Matsuko gets on the pit road earlier than you? How much of an overcut do you try to give with that pit stop likely coming with about 25 laps? I'll say that he probably have to come in immediately, and so then it just becomes having to have the racecraft to make your way back by the 26 as you see Raymond on pit road.
Getting all four tires, looks like, too.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do with those fresher tires. He did a great job with that 2-tire call. I don't think he didn't drop out of the top 5. In fact, I think he still held on to P4 when he made that stop. So
yes, he did.
So able to make that strategy call work to perfection there.
As we got the leader, Brock Morris, coming up through lap traffic here. This is only going to help Matsuko. Now, here's the question. You're in lap traffic, or you're getting in the lap traffic. Should you go ahead and pit now to hopefully get yourself some clean track?
I suppose it is a bit early, but 29 laps, that's not a whole lot. And I think the potential gain here with how much Morris is losing in the lap traffic, I think you gotta go now. If you're Matsuko, you might not have a better opportunity than right now.
Yeah, clean track's going to be key here.
And he just locked the front too. Nope. They both stay out one more lap.
You don't want to go too late though, James. You're going to need some time just in case something happens. You're going to need time to catch back up as the
And
5 of Peters comes down pit road.
Yep. And the first of the top 5 that's on this same strategy brings it down pit road. And Matsuko's fallen down to almost 2 seconds. I am just surprised that he hasn't looked to bring it in yet.
Yeah, he's falling like a rock now compared to what he was, and he's away from the lap traffic. He just got one car, the 8 car, in between him and Morris. Now is the time to pit.
And we'll see here as the 05 and the 26 make their way past pit road entry. Morris stays out, and Matsuko stays out. Chase Bullardin, though. And the cat and mouse game continues. While still 5 cars left on the racetrack and left on the lead lap right now.
Gilmet doing a good job here in 4th, though.
Yeah, he is solid P3, but a ways behind. 5th. Oh, black flag for Chase Bullard. Unfortunate. So we are under 25 laps to go. Just a quarter of this race left.
No pit stops being had yet from the top 3.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to run through all the scenarios. Like, surely they couldn't be good to go on fuel.
Oh, I don't think they can make it all the way. I really don't.
Morris is trying to get in past Tiffany Ellis to make it just 4 cars on the lead lap right now. There's a pass. Ellis isn't gonna fight it too much.
'26 of Matsuko not losing any ground anymore, though. Looks like it was just due to some lap traffic.
Yeah, it has stabilized. Matsuko once again doing a good job to stay as connected as he can. While looking back, and not too many battles for positions here. Ryan Peters and Matty Raymond, the first of those to really pit, and they are not close to each other on the racetrack. Peters has quite a bit of advantage back to the 83.
Matt Mars almost in trouble here. Almost going a lap down. 24 seconds back, and they're running 31s.
Yeah, Matt Mars, he is doing the caution dance right now. The caution coming out, that would be an unbelievable reversal of fortune for that 34.
Oh yeah, I hope he's banking on it here. Oh, it's Peters. Go way below the solid white and blue line to make that pass happen.
Yeah, Ryan Peters is not wasting any time. Morris continues to lead. We're under 20 to go.
Peters does not want a caution right now because he's the 3rd car 1 lap down.
Yeah, and those a lap down. Oh, see Tiffany Ellis get the wall. Those a lap down, they'll be able to take the wave around, but they'll be stuck on those ancient tires at this point compared to what the top four will be able to have. And yeah, they would need another caution at that point to be able to get their stuff changed.
Well, maybe they do have enough fuel to make it, because I think I would have already pitted by now. We've got 15 laps to go here in this race. So maybe they're doing what they need to do to save fuel, as Matsko now pulling back, or falling back to 2.6 seconds.
See a hard hit to the wall for Steely. He clapped that thing.
Man.
But in true next-gen fashion, Smackton is still carrying on like nothing happened. As Peters gets by Ellis to be first car 1 lap down, so if the caution does come out, he'll at least get the lucky dog and be able to change tires.
That was the plan by Peters, I guarantee it. Because I know he's got another set sitting there ready to go. That's going to put him right back in the spot here if they do get a caution, but I don't see it happening. But these cars are not handling good right now at all.
Yeah, a caution isn't likely because of the huge field spread we have right now. But you said it, these cars are not driving good, and honestly, they never drive good at New Hampshire. A spin is always kind of at an arm's length away, so you're never truly comfortable at New Hampshire because of it. All it takes is just a split second of getting on the gas a little too hard, around someone goes, and the race completely getting flipped upside its head.
Yeah, or getting down in the corner too hard, not getting on the brakes hard enough, or getting on the brakes too hard going into the corner, diving it too deep. Man, this thing's they're on edge the entire run.
Yeah, sometimes this race car doesn't like to do race car things at times.
As you can see, the 5 now of Peters getting around the 26 of Matsko. Now he's got one more car until he gets his lap back. But he's got to go all the way back around to make any other passes happen. I think with fresh tires, though, Peters can go up there and get his position back from Matt Mars, though, in 4th place.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely possible. He is making time hand over fist over the 34, so it feels like it's only a matter of time before he is at least able to get back to 4th.
They're on the same front stretch here, so it's going to be within a few laps. Peters is going to be right there trying to get that 4th spot back, which is awesome, you know, for having fresh tires here compared to these other guys.
Absolutely, as we're on board with Matty Raymond trying to run down the 8 car, get himself another position, but is not quite close enough to track down Peters to get back into the top 5. Still though, a great debut race for the 83 in his first attempt at a FMA Next Gen Cup Series event.
Yeah, no doubt. Solid 7th place performance right now, and possibly can get more here.
Yeah, all over the back of that 8 car trying to take away P6. Steely just hanging on for dear life at this point. And Raymond will get the spot done. 83 up to 6th.
Matt Mars about to go a lap down here as Brock Morris is closing in. But if you look a little further back, you got the 5 of Peters also trying to go grab that spot from Matt Mars. Looks like he's kind of stalled out a little bit. He's not nearly as fast as he was. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to catch Matt Mars with how many laps we've got left.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about a strategy like this, where you are going to have the fresher tires, is that it's easy to push way too hard trying to get all you can, and then just kind of running out of that juice a few laps earlier than you thought, and just not being able to take back everything you thought you would be able to grab with that fresh tire advantage. CJ Davis making the move on Tiffany Ellis. That is for the 8th spot. Tiffany Ellis is another one that's heavily fading. I think Ellis is on a similar staying out strategy that the top 3 are on. Just not quite working nearly as well for him or the 8 car. Just a little bit up the road.
I think they may be on older tires. Oh, has Brock Morris got a meatball flag?
That is an error. He does not have a meatball, but Tiffany Ellis does have a meatball for tires.
Oh.
So that's going to be a boon to Chase Bullard, who might be able to take that 9th spot from the 87.
Looks like a free pass to me. As Peters close up to the back of Brock Morris to get his lap back. 5 laps to go. Hey, he might go get Matt Mars after all.
Yeah. Here's looking a big send on Brock Morris, trying to get his lap back too first. And he's going to do it. Brock Morris not even going to consider fighting it. Not with a 6.5 second lead. And you see the huge difference in pace between... Oh, wow! Ryan Peters running low. He got a bump, and I swear he bunny hopped that 5 car.
He did. It looked like all, from my view, James, looks like all 4 tires come off the ground.
Get the Dukes of Hazzard theme rolling on that one. Good Lord. You see Matt Mars doing everything he can, trying to fight back. His tires are done, cooked, killed, but they still got just enough life to hold on with 2 laps to go. Here's the big send from Peters. He's got clear. Oh, Matt Mars, gets the wall. He gave it everything he had. Oh, Tiffany Ellis exits the pits on brand new tires. This might cause a little bit of confusion and calamity for everyone. Is off the final corner, white flag for Morris. 1 lap to go from, I believe, a 3rd straight win for the 05. Peters, you see, just wiggling, trying to keep the 34 at bay. They are giving it all they've got for P4. And Mars gets the spot back. Meanwhile, off of turn 4, Brock Morris will win at New Hampshire. But the race is not over yet for a few. Peters and Mars, they are still throwing haymakers. Peters on the inside. Oh, Matt Mars got the wall. Almost got the death wobble. That might be it. Peters sliding up. He's got the gap, and he might just have 4th. And he will. Ryan Peters, a hard-fought 4th place finish.
Incredible race.
Absolutely. Mars and Peters putting on a show Well, not quite the show that he put on. Brock Morris is going to be burning it down once again. Oh, that's not good for the towing. That's fine. He doesn't need that anymore.
You got to beat it in for the post-race inspection.
Well, I tell you, Adam, this isn't the easiest place to do donuts at. That narrow front straightaway doesn't give you a whole lot to work with.
No, it doesn't.
Well, as Brock Morris continues to burn it down, question mark, we'll get our last break-in of the night, and we'll be back with you shortly to talk to our top three.
Has to defend this contact very nearly. He just to the outside line. He breaks so much later. Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end? And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1. Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Alrighty, we are back and ready to talk to the top 3. And we'll start it off with our 3rd place finisher of Evan Guillemette. Actually, first we'll go ahead and go through the final finishing results. Your race winner, Brock Morris from Chase Matsuko, and Evan Guillemette joining him in the top 3. Ryan Peters and Matt Mars in 4th and 5th after their incredible duel. Maddie Raymond, Nigel Steele, Jay Davis, Tiffany Ellis, and Chase Bullard rounding out the top 10. Paul Wetline, Mark Ossier, James White, and Zach Tankersley rounding out the 14 competitors in tonight's race at New Hampshire. And now we'll go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher. Evan, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, that was not quite the race I think a lot of us were expecting there. It seemed like it was going to be pretty chaotic, and then all of a sudden able to bust out a long green flag run to the end.
Yeah, that green flag run was nice. Gave me time to work my way up through the field after my restart mishap. A good race though. Brock definitely deserved it. He's just great in the long runs.
Yeah, we were a bit surprised that you guys were able to make it without having to stop again. How close was everyone on fuel? Was there any saving, or were you fine from pretty much the get-go?
It wasn't so much the fuel, but the tire was the main concern. All the top three of us were well below 50-40% on our right front tire, and it was starting to get a little tough to drive at the end, but not worth the pit stop.
Yeah, how does it change your mindset when it goes from getting a handful of cautions in the first quarter and then suddenly have to go, oh, hey, this might actually be staying green for a while?
Honestly, my mindset doesn't really change from drop of the green to the end. I just tire save almost a whole race just because you never know what's going to happen. You don't want to get caught with your pants down with the no tires on your car at the end of it. So always want those tires on there.
Absolutely. It was another phenomenal run for you tonight. Another P3. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank Hometown Garage, great supporter, FMA. You guys are broadcasting. My girlfriend's watching. Thank my parents for watching, and my grandfather for watching as well. So, great broadcast, and they all enjoy it. So it's good to race.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, Evan, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yep, me too. See you guys.
All right, there was third place finisher of Evan Gilmet. And now we'll have Adam talk to our runner-up.
Chase Matsko, Adam Gladfelter in the booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Man, what a good long strategy run. Did you guys have way more than enough fuel, or was it?
Yeah.
Were you trying
fuel.
to save?
No, we had fuel. It was more tires than anything. My right front was at 8% at the end there. So a couple more laps, I would have had to came in. Brock was at 30-something, he said, so he was saving a lot better. I mean, that's the extra pace he had at the end. But, hey, I'll take it. This is not my car at all, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, road course skill here really paid off here at New Hampshire. It's just like running a road course. A lot of trail braking and rolling through the center, and which is pretty much why you're up there in the podium tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I my oval cars I like to have a little loose in them, so this car is not that. So sometimes I do good in it, sometimes I don't. That's why I'm a Gen 4 guy most of the time. But it felt good today. So.
Oh yeah. Anyway, if you got any shout outs now would be a time, and we'll get you on your way.
Well, just shout out you guys for putting on a good broadcast and people for showing up. We had a decent crowd for Mother's Day, and I didn't expect a whole lot because people got things to do with their family. So appreciate everybody coming out that did come out.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, good turnout and fun race to call here from the broadcast booth.
All right, sweet, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Alrighty, there was our runner-up. And now time to talk to the man of the hour. Brock, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, how about it? What is that? 3 in a row now?
I think so, yeah.
That was incredible. First of all, only started 5th here, but I think at this point, we don't really have to worry about you if you're not already starting the race on the front row with how these last few weeks have gone.
Yeah, I've always struggled at New Hampshire just putting together a fast lap, and I knew like if we had any kind of short run in that race, I was going to be pretty well cooked. But the yeah, my main focus is just always on the long run, and so I typically don't really worry too much about where I'm starting on most tracks. A lot of tracks that does play into it a lot, and just being able to get around people efficiently. But tonight and the past couple weeks have definitely, I've gotten pretty lucky with being able to get through the field without any sort of incident or anything. So yeah, very happy with how tonight went and the previous weeks have went.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting race. Got a handful of cautions there in the early going, and then just nothing but green flag running. Was that a worry to you? I know we were kind of concerned about fuel, but obviously wasn't a concern for any of the top four there, it would seem.
Yeah, it was. I made sure on that pit stop we did, like, it was filled to the brim, and I knew there may be some fuel saving in there, but luckily we didn't end up having to do any fuel saving. But yeah, my biggest concern was it just being a bunch of cautions over and over, and like I said, I struggle with my short run speed here and kind of just in general, if I'm being honest. And so I was very happy to see the final I don't know, 70 laps go green. If I could pick any scenario, that would be the scenario. So yeah, that was my biggest concern.
Absolutely, but thankfully those concerns were not met, and it was it ended up being kind of a cruise at the end, but Matsuko was making you work there pretty hard.
Absolutely, yeah. In that first a lot of the laps of that stint, he was right there with me, and I was actually a bit worried he might be able to come up there and take the lead from me. But yeah, I don't know, once we started lapping cars, if he just made a mistake or something and started to drop back. But in those last like 15 laps, I knew I was going to have to change tires anyway if we went to green, white, checkered. So I just started pushing as hard as I could and trying to leave him behind, which I was glad to see was effective.
Absolutely, but another dominant win for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Absolutely. First, Juicy Spider Studios, Highside Podcast. Particularly a shout-out to Hunter Sr. and Jared Skinner. Helped me so much with this track, because when I first drove this in a league about a month ago, I was like 4/10 off and couldn't figure out for the life of me how to drive New Hampshire. So they set me right, showed me the line, spent like an hour and a half with me just figuring it out. Kettering University, Kettering Esports, and I got to thank you guys up here in the broadcast booth and FMA for putting it on. And also to my mom for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, Brock, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, I hope so. So I appreciate it, guys.
Alrighty, there is your race winner, Brock Morrison. How about it, Adam? That was definitely one heck of a race we saw tonight.
It was. Not a whole lot of cars to show out, but they showed up and showed out anyway. I mean, only 14 cars out there, but they put on one heck of a show tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely. But with that, I believe it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For my broadcast partners, Kobe Jordan and Adam Glafalter, I'm James Watson, bidding you adieu till next time, and a happy Mother's Day. Good night, everyone.